Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly do appreciate it. My name is Eric Taylor. I'm the Chief Forensic Operator and owner here at Barricade Cyber Solutions. And I want to talk about something that's been going around Twitter and everything for a little while now. You may have seen some headlines. I know it's going to hit a lot of the CISO series and the other channels here very soon, but there's a lot of speculation around MGM Studios, MGM Resorts, I should say, and let's kind of get right into it before the headlines. First, to kick things off, this you'll see on the thumbnail. This is definitely a different one. This is not the executive summary briefing that's designed for CISOs. This is my ad hoc one-off where I will talk about a little bit more dolphinish things. I will typically use more of the dolphin, and I'll just be brutally honest with those. So this is, for the technicians and those that are out there, right? So if you're an executive, welcome, join along. Just know that I tend to get a little salty when I do this. So this is a way for me to vent a little bit. So here we go. With that said, I will bring up my sandbox workstation here, and you'll see over here on Twitter, they did post out 2 days ago at 11:27 where they've identified a cybersecurity issue, and that really could be literally anything, right? It could literally be anything. It could be their AD got corrupted. It could be their network is down. But anytime you see the word cybersecurity issue, what is the first thing you think of? You think ransomware. So that's typically what a lot of people jump right to. Um, our investigation is ongoing. We're working diligently to determine the nature and scope of this matter. Okay. 2 days later, it's literally been over 48 hours. As we're recording this right now, you'll see, it is the 13th at 2:48 p.m. Eastern time. So we're well over 2 days, 48 hours, right? Um, the MGM resorts, all of MGM resorts, pretty much shows the same moniker, where they're currently unavailable. If you have a reservation issue, please reach out to Ticketmaster. Essentially, anything that's going on in MGM resorts, all of them, they're completely down. Their check-in process, their resorts, the casinos, the stories are flying very, very loosely. Yesterday, VX Underground, very. I'm going to get a little spicy here, so if there's kids in the room, please put your headphones on or something. But yesterday, VX Underground, again, very respected community member of the community, a group of people, I should say. They do a lot of malware publications, things of that nature. But they made the claim yesterday that all Alpha V ransomware group did was compromise the MGM resort, was hop on LinkedIn, find an employee, then called the help desk. The claim is a company that's valued at $33 trillion was defeated by a 10-minute conversation. All right. This is where it all apparently hits the fan, right? I've tweeted out to VX Underground. I have asked for clarifications, and I'll show you what I know so far in just a moment. They made a claim. We'll talk about that in a moment. So they make this claim, right, that Alpha V is taking credit for it. All right. Now we see this story come out, and we'll read the headline.
Breaking news, the prominent MGM Resorts International faced a severe cyber attack, allegedly orchestrated by the ALPHV/Black Hat ransomware group, a faction known for its expertise in social engineering. The attackers reportedly breached MGM's security through a simple yet effective LinkedIn scam, leading to a shutdown of MGM's network systems, affecting everything from room access to casino operations. This incident has ignited discussions on the vulnerability of large corporations to social engineering attacks and the pressing need for heightened cybersecurity measures. MGM executives are now grappling with potential financial repercussions, including the ability to meet payroll commitments this Friday. Business leaders are urged to reassess their cybersecurity protocols to prevent similar breaches.
All right. So the shots are being fired, right? They are making there are news channels, specifically this one, Cyber News. I'm seeing more and more across my feed that are pretty much denouncing that Alpha V, aka Black Cat, has ransomware MGM. So why is this potentially so impactful? All right. So besides the fact that MGM is an international brand, right? They have hundreds, if not even thousands, of hotels and other things around the globe. And they I'm getting a thing from LinkedIn. Do you have that link? I will post it. You may have to come over here to the YouTube. Yeah, it looks like you had to come over to the YouTube link there, LinkedIn user. Sorry about that. Um, it's not posting it over it's not posting over there for some reason from the platform. But the so they have again, they have an international foothold, right? They're all the way around. Another thing that you may not be aware of that MGM just recently, 2 maybe 3 weeks ago, they had Black Hat and DEF CON, which is two of the most, I guess, prominent cybersecurity conferences there, right? And they are expected to have many more cybersecurity conferences. If you're in the MSP space, I think Joseph, my counterpart here, was talking about the uh, they the conference of Right a Boom may be happening there. So, there's some there's some issues there, right? So this is definitely going to be a problematic. The things I want everybody to pay attention to, you know, w- there is nothing. So we'll bring up the next. Okay, so when I bring up Alpha V's torrent site, right? This is their name and shame site. I guarantee you, with 1,000% certainty, if these folks claim breached MGM, it would be on their name and shame. They would simply say, you know, like right here again. I'm not trying to call out other folks, but I want to show this as a characteristic of kind of how these folks operate. Right, the Collins Law Firm, you know, they got their website, they got attachment 7. This one right here is the Seco Group Corporation, uploads of 1, but it's saying full leak is done. Right now, I'm not going to dive into it because I don't want to leak the mega torrent or the mega upload or mega share site or wherever some of these files may be stored at and cause more of an issue for those particular businesses. But I'm just going to scroll down for a moment and you'll see even from September 6th all the way up to the latest, there's no MGM. There's no mention of it at all. And I guarantee you, we see this time and time again, especially in my industry, when a threat actor compromises a very large organization, a hospital, a even think back about the pipeline that was in Georgia. The threat actor then came out and said, "Hey, we compromised it." It may not have been an instantaneous notification, but within a day or two, and we have, again, like I said, we have breached that 48-hour timeline, and there's no mention on it. There's no mention of them on Alpha V. Black Cat has a file repo that where you can be able to go and download all the files that's ever been leaked. There you have a complete API. I promise you, as of the time of this recording, I have searched their site, I've searched their file repo, I've searched their API. There's no mention of MGM anywhere on this. So with that said, was MGM hacked? Quite possibly. And I will say that with an asterisk, right? Were they hacked by Alpha V or Black Hat? Maybe, maybe not, right? Um, there's Alpha V, Black Hat is very, very known. They're very, very prominent. They love to have their names in the highlight in the newspapers. They love that brand recognition. This is one of those threat actors that love it. They get more credibility. They can charge more for their ransoms by having, hey, we hacked these FTARDs, right? They hacked them. So it's for them to not come out and state that they have done this is very out of character for them. Now, there was a mention. I'll try to find it here. There was a mention in here, and it may have just been on Twitter. I may have not seen it on the site. Yeah, it was just in Twitter, apparently. So there was a mention that it was one of their subsidiary affiliate groups. You know what? No offense. They all report back to the quote unquote mothership, the corporate office, if you will. That's the way this threat actor works, right? They are a ransomware as a service. They will have those folks that you can go be a threat actor today and apply at uh, Alpha V Black Cat and be poning and breaching people tomorrow. But guess what? The organization, that organization Alpha V, like some of the other bigger prominent organizations, they are the communications arm. They are the payment arm. Everything goes through their quote unquote customer service division, their Tor site, their Onion site, whatever you want to call it. So I would say, let's. I wish people would just calm down just a little bit. Yes, it's very, very bad for MGM that they're going through this situation. I hate it for them. You know, should have called Barricade Cyber. Excuse me. Just kidding. But for them to still be down 48 hours later is a big issue. So it does lean to the assumptions that they have been compromised and their backups have been compromised by a threat actor. Again, it is still way too early to say, was it Alpha V? Was it even ransomware? Was it a different third party organization? Who knows? Uh, I do know in a lot of our DFIR cases, the one item that was mentioned here, you know, they don't, apparently they're saying executives are worried that the company won't be able to pay employees on Friday. Let me actually blow that up a little bit more so y'all can see that a little bit better. I could tell you right now, a lot of the cases that we get brought in on, that is literally one of the first questions that we ask when we're going through our discovery call is, when did you last run payroll and when is the next one? So that way, at least the employees that are there, that's what we call team members, but they are able to get paid, right? Nothing could be worse than working for an organization that has been compromised and not knowing if you're going to get paid on Friday or whenever the next pay cycle is. So a lot of times putting that item to ease for the employees, even if a company's got to start printing out checks out of the back of a van. Um, it- Finding a workaround solution at least to get the employees paid something, and then you can fix the taxes and stuff later. So that's always something. So always consider that. So let's let's take a step back. Let's call the shenanigans the way that they are. Again, as of I'll actually refresh the Onion site right now. and we'll see if there is anything new. Yep, and there's still nothing new as of right now. So I don't know what to suspect. I don't know, or I don't know what I know what to suspect. I fully suspect ransomware. I fully suspect that at least a local backup repository was hacked, compromised, encrypted, even maybe. Um, and I would imagine an organization this size would have a cloud repository somewhere. Uh, whether it's Veeam or up in Azure or AWS or whatever the case is, that they are working diligently to potentially download that data, right, from their cloud. So, if you're internal or if you're by chance an executive watching this, what are the key takeaways from this? One, let's not jump to the gun and instantly assume ransomware, even though at this juncture it's looking more and more like it as time passes on, and there's no formal communication, even a sanitized one from breach counsel that saying, "Hey, we're still." From what I can tell, there's not even saying, "Hey, we are 48 hours into this. We are still investigating. We are expecting an update in certain amount of time." And that's what we see in a larger of these organizations, that they will at least say, "Hey, we will give you an update on where we are at this date and this time," even if it is a canned response, from executives or breach counsel or whatever the case is. The fact that we're not seeing that is it's a little off-putting, a little bit. I can't imagine what the folks are going through. So, look at, number two, what are your communication efforts to your public? If this was to come out, or if you had any sort of incident, it doesn't even have to say what the incident is, that you're still investigating. The fact that you're not doing any sort of public communication at all could be very traumatic to the business and to the brand, right? I mean, you may just be running a mom and pop, liquor store, and maybe public communication is not that big, or you're actually running like an e-commerce and you're running Bob Sprockets where you could be able to buy them offline or online. you know those are things that you got to determine. What are your communication channels? Who is allowed to communicate on behalf of their organization, and what filters must it go through before those communications, or before that communication is put out for public consumption. Number three is, let's take a page from MGM a little bit and pretend that your entire infrastructure was wiped out. uh, we are in hurricane season. What if a hurricane came in and wiped out your building, and you had to get a whole, two or three servers overnighted from Dell, Lenovo, HP, whatever your flavor is, and you had to download all that data from the cloud to spin back up your most critical infrastructure items? How long would it take to download that data and spin it back up? These are things that you should consider as part of your DR plan. So there's always lessons to be learned from these type of engagements. So let's carefully watch it as the story unfolds. Let's see, did really Alpha V or some other threat actor compromise them, or was this something else? So with that, thank you all so much for tuning in. I do greatly appreciate everything. If y'all found this information useful, please do me a favor, share this out. Let's help spread the word, and hopefully there's some lessons learned for your internal organization and operations. And with that, y'all take care, and we will see y'all on the next yammering. Love y'all guys. Peace out.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go.
Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.